One decision. You're skipping dinner tonight. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? But here's what you don't see. Within hours, insulin plummets by 30%, fat burning activates, and a cellular repair mechanism that earned a Nobel Prize begins working. Just 14 days of this pattern will restructure your entire metabolism, and the transformation begins sooner than you'd imagine. Here's the night-by-night breakdown of what's happening inside you. The instant that evening meal never arrives, your body registers the change immediately. Hormones shift, your liver accesses stored glycogen, and while your mind considers this a minor adjustment, your biology recognizes it as something far more significant. Hunger shows up first, not as genuine need, but as conditioning. Your stomach tightens, dopamine pathways anticipate rewards that won't come, and you sense something's absent. This isn't fragility, it's decades of routine meeting disruption. But as midnight approaches, insulin sinks to levels you haven't experienced in months. When insulin drops, your system gets a permission it seldom receives. Release energy instead of storing it. Your liver begins converting glycogen reserves, delivering glucose to sustain you overnight. This process is precise, calculated, releasing just enough to keep your blood sugar stable while you sleep. Then, as those stores diminish, fat cells open up. Fatty acids enter your circulation. Your liver transforms them into ketones, fuel so clean it powers your brain while generating minimal waste. By sunrise, you've burned nothing but fat for 8 solid hours. No food required, no energy deficit. Just your body finally accessing reserves it's been storing for years. Day 2 arrives. Lunch happens. Your system processes nutrients. Then evening returns, and once again, no dinner. Hunger manifests differently this time. Less demanding, more like static humming in the distance than an alarm screaming for attention. Your stomach might growl, but your mind stays calmer. You're beginning to grasp something essential. Hunger isn't crisis, it's simply data. A notification, not an emergency. Ghrelin, that appetite-driving hormone, starts recalibrating its schedule. It's discovering that food won't appear at night, and gradually, hesitantly, it stops requesting so insistently. That second night brings changes to your rest. Without a meal being processed, without your system laboring to digest heavy food, your sleep deepens. Your parasympathetic mode, the healing and restoration state, functions without obstacles. Body temperature naturally decreases, signaling that recovery is now priority, not digestion. Melatonin rises uninterrupted. You sink into sleep quicker, remain there more consistently, wake feeling transformed, refreshed, sharper. Your system, liberated from its nightly digestive workload, has dedicated hours to fixing, cleaning, fortifying itself from within. And here's what most people don't realize. Quality sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's when your brain clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system, a process that only functions efficiently during deep sleep phases. By the third day, your metabolism passes an invisible boundary. Glycogen stores, which partially refilled after lunch, drain again through evening and overnight. Your system, recognizing the pattern now, stops interpreting this as emergency. It reads it as normal. Ketone generation intensifies. Your brain, typically dependent almost entirely on glucose, starts welcoming these alternative fuel molecules. Initially, this shift might feel unusual. Some report lightheadedness, minor headaches, the so-called keto flu. But these symptoms vanish quickly. Within hours, your brain uncovers something extraordinary. Ketones aren't merely fuel. They're therapeutic. They lower inflammation, they shield neurons, they amplify focus in ways glucose simply cannot. People around you consume their dinners. You observe, perhaps experience a magnetic pull toward joining them. But something internal has shifted. You're beginning to recognize how much consumption is social, emotional, habitual, and how minimal is truly physiological necessity. This awareness doesn't breed judgment, it creates freedom. You're no longer governed by the clock, by pattern, by what others do. You're attending to your system, and your system is communicating something unexpected. I'm fine, better than fine, I'm flourishing. On days 4 and 5, your cells launch one of nature's most incredible mechanisms, autophagy. The term translates to self-consumption, but it isn't destruction, it's restoration. Your cells locate compromised components, fractured proteins, failing mitochondria, worn cellular equipment that's exceeded its usefulness. Then, with precise accuracy, they break down these elements and recycle them into building blocks for constructing something superior. This mechanism literally won a Nobel Prize. Scientists revealed that autophagy guards against cancer, decelerates aging, blocks neurodegenerative conditions. It's your system's internal renovation team, and continuous eating keeps them unemployed. But now, with dinner eliminated, they're operating at full capacity. Your brain feels this renewal most intensely. Inflammation, that silent saboteur of mental sharpness, starts declining. Ketones boost production of a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor by up to 400%. This compound functions like growth serum for your neurons, promoting expansion, reinforcing connections, defending against harm. People capture this state with words like flow, lucidity, seamless concentration. Activities that felt challenging suddenly feel natural. Distractions dissolve. Your mind, operating on premium fuel and freed from inflammatory interference, performs at a capacity you may not have accessed in years. The difference is tangible. You finish tasks faster, ideas connect more fluidly, memory recall sharpens. This isn't placebo, this is biochemistry working in your favor. Quick question before we continue. Have you personally tried eliminating dinner for even 3 consecutive days? What shifts did you observe? Share it in the comments. By day 6, your digestive system starts expressing gratitude in tangible ways. Your stomach, intestines, pancreas, liver, these organs have operated nearly continuously for years, processing meal after meal with minimal recovery time. Now, for 16 to 18 hours daily, they finally rest. Your gut lining, weakened from perpetual food exposure, begins reinforcing itself. The tight junctions between intestinal cells strengthen. The protective barrier shielding your bloodstream grows more robust, preventing unwanted particles from entering circulation. This is critical because a compromised gut barrier contributes to systemic inflammation, autoimmune responses, even mood disorders. Your microbiome transforms. Bacterial species that flourish during fasting expand, others dependent on constant sugar contract. Research demonstrates fasting enhances microbial diversity, and diversity translates to strength. A balanced microbiome means enhanced immunity, since 70% of your immune system resides in your gut. It means improved mood regulation through the gut-brain axis. It means better nutrient extraction from the food you do consume. You might recognize this through diminished bloating, easier digestion, even emotional equilibrium that appears unexplainable. It originates from your gut, finally achieving balance. Some people report that stubborn digestive issues they've battled for years simply vanish during this phase. 1 week completed, and your metabolism has transitioned into expertise. Enzymes that dismantle fat now generate abundantly. Your body has become exceptionally proficient at converting stored energy into usable power. What's remarkable? This doesn't decelerate your metabolism. Studies reveal short-term fasting can actually elevate metabolic rate by 3 to 14%. Your system isn't hoarding energy, it's refining it, becoming more efficient, more capable, more powerful with every passing day. Sleep keeps improving. Night after night of falling asleep quicker, staying asleep deeper, waking more refreshed. Cortisol elevates naturally at dawn, providing alertness without caffeine dependency. Melatonin rises naturally at dusk, delivering rest without medication. Your circadian clock synchronizes flawlessly with this eating pattern, delivering enhanced immunity, balanced mood, optimized cognition. Every biological system benefits when your internal rhythms align with natural cycles. This synchronization has ripple effects throughout your entire physiology that you'll continue experiencing long after these 14 days end. By day 8, insulin sensitivity advances dramatically. This could be the most critical transformation of all. Insulin resistance drives type 2 diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, even Alzheimer's, which researchers now sometimes call type 3 diabetes. Daily fasting reverses this trajectory. Your cells regain sensitivity. The same small insulin amount now functions far more effectively. Blood glucose maintains stability and smoothness throughout your waking hours. No collapses, no abrupt hunger. Just consistent, dependable fuel flowing exactly when and where your body needs it. In this state, your system transitions into lipolysis, the active dismantling of fat for energy. Fatty acids from stored tissue convert into ketones in your liver, powering your brain and muscles more efficiently than glucose ever could. Research from Harvard and the National Institutes of Health confirms that even brief fasting windows enhance insulin sensitivity and slash type 2 diabetes risk. This hormonal equilibrium also governs your appetite. Leptin also recalibrates. This hormone broadcasts satiety, but perpetual eating generates leptin resistance. Your brain stops detecting the signal. Fasting repairs it. Suddenly, you feel content with smaller portions. Cravings vanish. Food transforms into sustenance, not distraction or emotional comfort. The endless snacking, the mindless grazing, it all fades into silence. Days 9 and 10 deliver observable changes. Inflammation reduces, facial puffiness decreases, skin luminosity increases, under-eye darkness lightens. This is cellular wellness manifesting externally. Internally, inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein decrease substantially. Blood pressure settles into healthier ranges. Heart rate variability strengthens, indicating your cardiovascular system is more resilient and adaptable to stress. Fat combustion achieves maximum efficiency. Your system becomes metabolically adaptable, transitioning smoothly between burning glucose during eating and fat during fasting. This adaptability is what humans naturally possessed for hundreds of thousands of years, and what contemporary eating patterns suppressed. You've essentially restored an ancient biological capability that modern convenience erased. Round day 11, something changes psychologically. You're not battling this routine anymore. You're not deploying willpower to avoid dinner. You genuinely don't desire it. The pattern is dissolved and substituted with something better. Lightness, authority, command over your own biology. This constructs confidence that radiates beyond eating. It demonstrates you're more capable than you assumed, that you possess more control over your habits, your health, your life than you believed possible. That understanding radiates into every dimension of your existence. Discipline in one area naturally spills into others. The psychological empowerment from successfully changing a deeply embedded habit creates momentum for additional positive transformations. By day 12, you comprehend that equilibrium matters. Eliminating dinner doesn't equal eliminating nutrition. Your consumed meals must be nutrient concentrated, abundant in protein, beneficial fats, vitamins, minerals. Your system, despite its newfound efficiency, still requires raw materials for all this repair and regeneration happening nightly. Hydration grows essential. With suppressed insulin, your kidneys eliminate more sodium and water through increased excretion. Replenish electrolytes deliberately. Include sea salt in water. Consume mineral-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds. These modifications create substantial differences in how you feel. Some individuals experience tiredness or lightheadedness at this phase. These aren't indicators fasting is harmful. They're messages to modify your approach, to nourish better during your eating period, to listen carefully to your system's feedback. The body communicates constantly, and wisdom lies in hearing those messages rather than ignoring them. This balance between discipline and flexibility, between structure and adaptation, is where sustainable health practices live. Day 13. The metamorphosis is undeniable, not merely in physical appearance, though you likely look leaner and more radiant, but in sensation, continuous energy that sustains throughout waking hours, mental precision that makes complex tasks feel simple, emotional steadiness that keeps you grounded even during stress. These alterations are quantifiable at the cellular level. Autophagy has eliminated cellular debris nightly. Mitochondria have increased in both quantity and quality. DNA repair enzymes, particularly sirtuins associated with longevity, have become more active. Studies indicate fasting triggers longevity genes, identical ones activated by caloric restriction, which extends lifespan in every organism tested, from yeast to primates. You're biologically younger than you were 14 days prior. Oxidative stress, the cellular damage accumulating over time, has diminished. Inflammation, the foundation of most chronic illnesses, has dropped substantially. You may notice unexpected improvements. Joints moving more smoothly, chronic aches diminishing, energy flowing more evenly throughout your body. These aren't coincidences. Reduced inflammation from consistent fasting can ease chronic pain and enhance mobility. Meanwhile, your immune system, newly reset, operates more efficiently against genuine threats like viruses and bacteria, conserving resources instead of maintaining constant low-grade inflammation. Psychologically, something powerful emerges. Trust. You start trusting your system again, not as an adversary, but as a partner. You've witnessed how it adapts, how it heals, how it doesn't require constant feeding to survive and thrive. It's humbling, even spiritual. You've demonstrated to yourself that hunger doesn't signify weakness. It signals awareness. Day 13 transcends weight loss or aesthetics. It's about connection between mind, body, and the ancient intelligence residing within every cell. On day 14, you confront a choice. What follows? These 2 weeks established something essential. Your system doesn't require constant feeding. It prospers with rest, with cycles, with eating and fasting intervals. Science validates this conclusively. Time-restricted eating provides decreased disease risk, enhanced metabolic wellness, improved cognition, even extended lifespan in animal research. Human studies, though still emerging, point toward identical conclusions. The question is whether you'll persist, whether you'll transform this temporary experiment into a lasting pattern. Some individuals make skipping dinner permanent. They find the advantages so compelling that this rhythm becomes as natural as breathing. Others discover middle ground, fasting most evenings while allowing adaptability for social events, celebrations, special occasions. There's no singular correct answer. The objective is discovering what's maintainable for your life while preserving these remarkable benefits you've experienced. What you've absorbed extends beyond nutrition. Your system is resilient, adaptable, intelligent beyond comprehension. Hunger isn't catastrophe. Eating is frequently habit rather than necessity. Simplicity in eating patterns generates complexity in cellular wellness. You've witnessed what scientific literature articulates. Reduced eating frequency produces superior health across practically every measurable parameter. Improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, enhanced autophagy, optimized mitochondrial function, better cardiovascular health, sharper cognitive performance. The evidence is overwhelming, but you've also absorbed something deeper. That connection with your system, that capacity to listen and respond appropriately, extends far beyond food. It's consciousness, it's understanding. It's the cornerstone of lasting health that no external intervention can provide. You've proven you can modify deeply embedded patterns, that you can override years of conditioning, that you possess more authority over your biology than you realized. Your system wasn't constructed for perpetual abundance. It was constructed for cycles, feast and fast, activity and rest, eating and repair. Contemporary life interrupted these cycles, And that interruption manifests as disease, as dysfunction, as feeling disconnected from your own biology. By eliminating dinner, by extending your overnight fast, you reinstated a rhythm encoded into your DNA. You granted your system authorization to do what it's always known how to do: heal itself, optimize itself, flourish. If this exploration revealed what your system is genuinely capable of achieving, share your perspective in the comments. Would you attempt 14 days after witnessing what truly occurs internally? And if you want additional insights on how simple modifications generate profound transformations, subscribe now, because comprehending your system isn't merely information, it's liberation. The freedom to control your health through wisdom rather than restriction, through listening rather than forcing. One eliminated dinner at a time.